Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
Hello, welcome back. It's time once again for Morning Mindset. I hope that you, if you're listening to this in the morning, you have your favorite coffee, beverage, or tea, or whatever it is that gets your day started. I'm in my padded wall studio, that's right, and I'm sipping a cup of Sweet Marie's coffee. If you ever come to the beautiful city of Saratoga, Wyoming, be sure that you stop by Sweet Marie's coffee shop. It's so good. And Sweet Marie also has a Mercantile shop. They have Western cowboy stuff and souvenirs and all that jazz. And no, they didn't pay me for that plug. I just like them. So there you go. It's a free plug. All right. Today, let's go ahead and talk about leave your guitar out. What is he talking about? I don't have a guitar and this doesn't apply to me. Be careful. Yes, it does. One of the things that I enjoy about having a app television, and Netflix is app television, is the variety of biographies of famous people and influencers throughout history. One of the biographies that I watched during the last, 6 months or so, was the biography of Jimi Hendrix. Now, I know a lot of you freaks out there are less than 40 years old, and the name Jimi Hendrix is, I might as well say George Washington or, Albert Einstein or Thomas Edison or something. It seems far away to you, but I grew up in the late 70s and 80s. They were my formative years, and I listened to Jimi Hendrix a lot when I was growing up in Detroit, Michigan, listening to WRIF 101, The Riff. That's right. That was my best Dick the Bruiser impression. I listened to Jimi Hendrix, and I got to watch his biography. And one of the things that I found, I enjoyed it a great deal, beginning to end. But something that I took out of that as a practical lesson was the fact that Jimi Hendrix wasn't just a gifted and talented guitar player from birth. He had natural skill. A lot of people have natural skill. But he took the natural gift, the natural skill that he was given, by the grace of his birth and by God, and he developed it and he fostered it and he worked at it. A lot of people probably think when they hear, someone like Jimi Hendrix playing a guitar, they think, oh man, that guy's so lucky. He was just born with this natural God-given talent, and I wasn't. I really wish I was. And when they they interviewed people who knew Jimmy growing up, and they knew him during his formative years. They knew him during before he became super famous. And many of them mentioned how it didn't matter where he was going, whether he was just going to hang out with friends or going to a restaurant or going to a social gathering or going back and forth to work or whatever, Jimi Hendrix always had his guitar with him. One of Jimmy's old girlfriends said that it was, I don't know if she was annoyed by it or it was quirky, but everywhere he went, he had his guitar. And if he had a break, he had a break in the conversation, a break in whatever, he would go over and he'd practice. And he would practice constantly for hours and hours and hours. He took the guitar everywhere with him. That was the level of dedication that he had to learning the guitar. Now, I titled this, Leave Your Guitar Out. Now, I don't expect you guys, and I know many of you don't have guitars or own guitars, you don't care about the subject of guitars, but what is it that you're looking to master in your life? What do you want to get better at? What area of endeavor or field of endeavor do you want to master? And I use the guitar as an example, and when I say leave your guitar out, if you're just starting out and you put the guitar away, you practice for the 30 minutes that your instructor told you to practice, and then you put it in the case and you put it in your closet. And what happens? Well, if it's new to you, it's not a habit. And so it's very, very easy for you to fall back into your old lifestyle and just to forget that guitar is there. But if you leave it out, I know it might get dusty. Buy a Swiffer and dust it off. If you leave the guitar out, I have this habit of sticking, I own a guitar. I have this habit of sticking my guitar in a padded up chair. There's a padded reading chair in my office, and I'll take the guitar and I'll just put it in the chair when I'm not sitting in it. And it's there. And my wife's like, why don't you put that thing in the case? It's just sitting out. Like, yeah, I know. It's sitting out on purpose. I want it to be sitting out because I want to see it. Because if I see it, I'll think, you know what? I should pick that thing up and I should practice. So rather than, if you guys are out there and you're like, well, I've got a schedule and my instructor says 30 minutes a day to practice this. Dink, 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 dink. And if you just do that 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes every other day or what have you, you'll probably, pick up some songs and start to get good. But if it's there and you see it, and you think, I've got some time on my hands. I got 15 minutes. I'm waiting for dinner to get ready. And so I don't want to get involved in anything else because if I get involved in it, dinner will be ready in 15, 20 minutes. So what am I going to do? Pick up the guitar. And the guitar could be anything. It doesn't have to just be a guitar. Any area of endeavor that you're looking to master. Maybe you're trying to master a language, or maybe you're trying to, you're trying to learn or educate yourself on one subject or another. So let's say you have a very thick textbook and it's everything you need to know about that subject, but it's a pretty heavy tome. Keep it right there. And when you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, pick it up, read 5 pages, read 10 pages, what have you. But leave your guitar out. And the story about Hendrix taking the guitar everywhere with him, how many young people in our world today have that kind of dedication, that kind of drive, motivation, that dedication? And Hendrix was humble. He was a very humble person. If you watch his interviews, he didn't like when people threw around the words musical genius or master or what have you, because he always felt that he could be better. And he was pretty good. So if you want to achieve mastery, if you're on the road to mastery, leave your guitar out. Leave your guitar out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Paul Markle. That's it for today's Morning Mindset. I'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markle, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.